How many universes can you put on Ethernet? Pros will say, depends on your bandwidth. Beginner will say, what's a universe? They're both wrong. The answer is under this cloth. The ENTTEC STORM10. 10 universes, 1 Ethernet cable. The STORM10 is a converter between Ethernet to DMX. It will take signals from your lighting control system over streaming ACN or ArtNet and convert it to DMX. On the front, we've got our Ethernet port, and on the back, we have 10 DMX ports. Now, I've also got 2 of those ports that are put back on the front in case I need to access some DMX outputs while this device is locked in a rack. So why is the STORM10 so special? There are other devices out in the market now that do more than 10 universes per port. We were actually the first ones who had a 24-port device with our STORM24. That was a few years back. But what we've done with the STORM10 is that we've actually reduced the cost per port. So when you're needing to convert a lot of eDMX onto actual DMX, what really matters is how much it's going to cost you to convert each universe. This is where the STORM10 is truly unique. Not only that, we also have a PoE port. So you can power this device using a PoE device, which means you don't need to worry about DC jacks on the back, power adapters, or things like that. Just focus on actually converting eDMX to DMX. Not only that, if you need more than 10 ports, you can stack 2 of these side by side in a rack, which will give you 20 DMX universes on one single rack unit. If you want more, then of course you can stack up a whole of them in your rack. It basically scales up to limitless if you have the network infrastructure that will allow you to send all the packets to the correct devices. I've been talking about DMX universes from the beginning, but some people might not know what is a DMX universe. So first, let's take a step back. A DMX channel. Think of a DMX channel as one control channel. Imagine you have a light bulb and you have a dimmer. So you're going from off with a knob to on. In DMX, that's one channel. So DMX universe is 512 of those channels. So imagine 512 dimmers. That's the history of it back from the theatrical days. But now we've got all this new tech. We've got RGB pixels, neon flex, moving heads, all this stuff. How do I map that to these channels? Well, for example, if I have RGB, what I want to do, I want to control each of these colors individually. So I have my red, my green, my blue. So I'm going to allocate one channel for each of these colors. So an RGB light or pixel or whatever we want is going to consume 3 DMX channels. That means over one universe, I can put 512 divided by 3, which roughly means 170 RGB pixels. If I have an RGB white pixel, I'm going to need 4 channels. So 512 divided by 4 means 128 pixels on my DMX universe. See how this works? Now, for other things like moving lights or even more complicated lighting fixtures, I'll just consume more DMX channels. The principles all will then repeat over and over again until I run out of DMX channels, and then I have to get a new universe. This is where the STORM10 comes in, and this is why for large installations where we have, for example, a lot of pixels, people need many DMX universes. Hope it all makes sense. So now we've gone through what the Storm is, what a DMX universe is, and how all the channels work. Let me put it to use and show you a real setup. Let me get this ready. Done. That was quick. Okay, so what have I got on this setup? I've got my laptop running ELM. This is my control system, which is sending ArtNet or eDMX to the STORM10. So currently, this wire here has multiple DMX universes running over it. On the output of my STORM10, I have a DMX cable, then it goes into this little hookup bunch here where I'm merging my DMX signal with the 24-volt power supply, which then feeds into the pixelated Neon Flex. This is a typical example of how you connect end-to-end a system from the control software to the conversion box to the actual light in DMX. So this currently has got about 20 pixels. So this is using 20 times 3, 60 DMX channels. And just a quick note, ENTTEC, we manufacture the software, the controllers, the Neon Flex, pretty much everything on this table, apart from the power supply, of course. So to recap what we went over, now we know what a DMX channel is. We know there's 512 channels in one DMX universe. We also know that we can put DMX universes over Ethernet, and that's how most of the lighting control systems now work from a PC or some other device. We then know also how to convert those DMX universes that are on Ethernet back onto a real DMX signal with devices like the STORM10. Once they're converted back to DMX, we can control any of our traditional lighting fixtures. Now, what I've got on this table is a simple example, same configuration you would have on a skyscraper controlling many thousands of pixels and many thousands of universes. It's the same system. This scales up really well. The center of it being the ENTTEC STORM10. Thanks for listening for this video. I'll catch you next time. If you have any questions, anything like this, make sure you put them in the comments below and we'll make sure to get back to you. Thank you.